Here is the courthouse in Carthage, Missouri. That star up at the top lights up at night. You can see it as you're coming into town. Oh, she thought that was hilarious. There's actually a museum inside that shows history of the area, history of the courthouse. All right, well, that is the end of our video. I think I actually stopped the previous video, so I may just post these as two separate, or maybe try to put them together as one, but a lot longer than we expected it to be. Actually, you know what, I may just go ahead and post both videos and make this one the start. So we showed Route 66 from Webb City, Missouri through Carterville, Missouri, Brooklyn Heights into Carthage. Showed the Route 66 drive-in theater, the Casa de something RV park on the route, which is right down the road from 66 drive-in theater. Drove all the way through, showed the Boots Motel, showed a hill that you may want to be on the lookout for in the bird, and then right here in this video showed the historic Jasper County Courthouse in Carthage, Missouri. So again, long video, apologize for that, but hope you enjoyed. Showed you a little bit of a preview of Route 66 and what you're going to be seeing. So take it easy. All right, we are on our way back from visiting family, and we are going to film some of original Route 66 through Webb City, Missouri, Carterville, Missouri, I think Brooklyn Heights, Missouri, and then Carthage, Missouri. At least we are going to attempt to do that. This is a pretty lengthy section of original Route 66, and it kind of turns and winds in and out some of the towns there. So I think I know where to turn. We're going to find out here pretty quick, but we're getting ready to actually turn onto Broadway in Webb City, which is right here, isn't it? Yeah, it's right here. And that is the start of this older section of Route 66. So I'm going to flip the camera around here.
Ow.
Sorry, Mindy just corrected me. This is actually Powell down here, but it turns into Broadway once it gets, or once it rounds the curve up here. And we actually, just right before we got married, lived in a house right here on Broadway in Webb City. We're going to pass by here in just a second. We lived there for a little less than a year before we bought our house and moved to Carthage. Fast forward through some of this. This might be a little bit of a long video, maybe 10-12 minutes or so, because it is going through several towns here, but it's, like I said, it's a pretty long section of original Route 66. You might have to pull up your maps, help me make sure I know where to turn. I think they'll have these original, or these Route 66 scenic byway signs, but because it's in Carterville is where I don't know where to turn. There's an old house right there.
It's still got.
Yeah, it's still got that green paint that we put on it.
Green is teal.
Okay, the color that I didn't like.
I love it. Maybe not great for the outside of the house. More of an inside color, but
Gosh, that's what, 15 years ago that was there?
I guess nobody else wanted to take the window apart to repaint it.
Pardon the shakiness. We've got got my cell phone on the dash, and being an older road, it is a little bit in need of some repair, but it's not terrible. So Mark, you may get a kick out of this. There is a company here in Webb City called Cardinal Detecto, and they actually make scales, all the way from postage scales all the way up to very, very large scales. And if I am not mistaken, I believe they make a lot of the scales or all of the scales for cat scales. And they're made here in town. There's actually a building right here to our left. If I wasn't driving, I'd pull the phone down and show you, but there's a building right here on the left. It is Cardinal Detecto Scale. And like I said, they make
scale detector.
Whatever. They make all of the cat scales. So.
And there's the bar.
Yeah, that's the highlight of the route, right?
I got $1 tacos on Tuesday. That's a new building.
Paused the video there while we were waiting at the stoplight.
Indoor playground.
So, again, can you take pictures of these? Wish I could. Well, I don't have to take the camera off, but there's some old ruins here. If I remember right, I think they were pieces of the railroad tracks that that went from a lot of the mining operations here in Carterville and another little town called Oronogo over to Joplin, to some of the rail yards and facilities that would do some of the mining or some of the ore processing. You get on your Google Maps and find out which road to turn on just in case. I think it's Pine. Well, like I said, I think they're going to have signs that will point us the right direction, but I just want to be sure. Like I said, I think it's Pine. Again, pardon my
continue on West Main Street.
Pardon my lack of knowledge of exactly where Route 66 is at, even though I grew up here for almost 30 years. But
no, it's taking you on 171 North.
Well, yeah, because it's not taking me the original Route 66.
Yeah.
There's a Route 66 ice cream parlor right there. And this is Carterville, Missouri, right here. Again, little small blink and you miss it. Well, not really blink and you miss it, but little small town.
Nope, it is. Turn left on Pine. North Pine.
It is Pine, okay.
Yeah.
I just gotta make sure I can find the sign. Yeah, there's the sign. 66 byway this way. Like I said, I thought they'd have one, but never know.
Italian grill.
Rough road.
Pink Cadillac.
Yep, Mary Kay Pink. Now we're off the main road in Carterville, and as you can see, kind of residential street here. But again, this is original Route 66. That turn right there was the only one I wasn't sure about. Because the only other, I think it's just straight road. Well, it's not straight, but it's the same road all the way over through Carthage, except for that left turn there on Oak right before the drive-in. interesting driving the bird down some of these roads. They're wide enough for 2 cars. I don't know about a Wander Lodge. Have the Route 66 sign on it, but it had an arrow, and in the middle of the arrow said Route 66. So, and just a note too, I don't know if I said this when we started the video, but we are actually going west to east. So, Mark and Trish, if you take the time to watch this, you'll be going the opposite direction that we are right now.
In their backyard.
An old truck right there, got a Route 66 sign on the front of it. I think that's one of the cool things about Route 66 is people that live on or near it, a lot of them will take their businesses or their houses. Like here's a house we're passing right here, you can't even see it, but one of their barn doors has a Route 66 sign painted on it. That truck we passed just a second ago, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but was all decorated up and had Route 66 on the grill. You know, like we
they take pride in Route 66.
And the video we posted earlier, you know, that cars on the route, you know, they took that business and made it a Route 66 business, or took their garage thing there and made it a Route 66 business. So and that's another topic for discussion: is it route or route? Route.
This is what I've always heard it called. Maybe it's
Well, that's the
Southwest
song.
Missouri thing.
Get your kicks on Route 66.
Yeah.
And I'll see one of the things that I put in on the post of asking for places to stop was the Boots Motel. We'll stop there when we get back into Carthage and show a little bit of it in the video as well. We'll pull into the 66 drive-in and show the front sign of it. And I'll also point out, and don't know where your stops are going to be, but I'll point out a nice little RV park that's right near 66 Drive-In Theater here in Carthage. And we've never stayed there. Our plan is to stay there one of these times that we come back to visit family. But from the aerial shots and the website, it looks pretty nice.
This is why I haven't traveled Route 66 around here.
Because it's just all back roads.
Because this is what you see.
It's hard to believe that, you know, however many years ago, this was one of the major routes to go across the United States. There is another turn right here. It used to go straight back there where we just turned, but Highway 171 or US 49 cuts across right there, so they've got this overpass right here that they've now put in, and then we'll join back up with it with the original Route 66 here in just a second, because this little jaunt right here is not original, obviously. it's open. Doesn't look like there's like a security gate or anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and drive through and give you a look at this nice little RV park.
Is this a one-way?
It might be. Alright, so this place looks pretty full. I'm kind of surprised, actually.
I'll bet money it's probably a bunch
Yeah,
of
this looks like longer term people, but
like construction and road
yeah.
crew.
When we stayed nearby here, back around Easter, the other RV park that we stayed at, again, a pretty nice place as well, was on the other end of town, and they were telling us that a lot of the longer term people that they had there were actually on a construction crew building windmills. So we'll drive
That
back
may
through
be
this other
some
side of the
the-
RV park
it-
here.
That may be a lot of this too.
Good size pull-through sites. Looks like, I can't tell without going up to them, but it looks like 50 and 30 amp, just based on the size of the panel. That's a nice excursion. South Dakota. Yeah, so this RV park is, you'll see here in just a second, literally right down the road from 66 Drive-In Theater. A decent little pool there. Called Camp MI Casa on the route. Just got back on the road a second ago, and here is 66 Drive-In Theater.
This is the family fun shindig around this area.
I'll pull in here, and
They-
no, we can't pull in here.
Get it blocked up.
I'll pull in. They've got it blocked off though. So here's the old sign. They are playing Free Guy and Jungle Cruise this weekend, and obviously there's the big old screen. Go in right back over there, and they've still got some of the old little window hanger posts and all that stuff that you used to use back in the days when this was a pretty popular attraction. So I'll pause for a second and then we'll get back on the road. Alright, we are back on the road. Apologize, this has turned out to be a longer video than I expected, but like I said, it's a pretty long section of original Route 66, plus showing you the RV park and drive-in theater.
And the drive-in theater on weekends, they'll be packed, lined up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a big thing.
It's a pretty big deal around here. The lines sometimes will be all the way back here to where we're at right now. I mean, you know, half mile down the road. In fact, I don't know, you can see it in the video, but on the left over here, the shoulder's pretty wide, and cars will be parked off on the shoulder over here all the way down to this driveway that we're coming up to right here as they're waiting to get into the theater.
also, through here during the weekend or whatever, there's the Stone's Throw Theater where they put on the plays and stuff too.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna turn left up here. It gets off of the 66 byway, but is that? I'm trying to remember. There's an old bridge right over here, and I think that was part of the original Route 66. If you turn left right here, you can go up that bridge right there. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm not gonna go across it because it gets us off of our path. There's a really old bridge right just to our left here that I believe was part of the original Route 66, but I don't remember exactly how it used to merge back in to the section that we were just on. Obviously, with newer, bigger, wider roads coming in, they've used portions of Route 66 and not used other portions, and so it's difficult in some areas to tell what part's original and what part's not. But Carthage is a really old town, early 1800s when it was founded. And, there was a pretty large Civil War battle here, and in the distance there you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but we can see it, hopefully you can in the video as well, the courthouse for Jasper County. And on the left here is Powers Museum. It's a museum of Carthage in the area. On our right is the municipal park, swimming pool, golf course. It's where they do the fireworks and 4th of July, all that type of stuff. See, we'll have to post on Finding Our Someday as well and let them know that if they're planning to come through here, there's their donuts for donuts, coffee, and sunrise. All right, so we are coming up on, there's 100 different names for it that I've heard, but the most common one that I've heard in the area is Tickle Tummy Hill. I've heard it called Wee Hill, number of other things, but
whatever you yell when you go through over hills but
it is a bridge that might be interesting in the bird. I don't think you'd get stuck, but
it unhook the car from the bird, take the car over, and there you go.
Weight limit 5 tons. I doubt that. Well, I don't know, is the bird over that? The bird might be over that.
Yeah, I don't know, but you take.
So there was Tickle Tummy Hill right there. Up and over pretty quickly there, but like I said, it's a pretty sharp peak there at the top. And there's a pretty cool old building right here on the right. You can see it says DeSoto Plymouth G&E Tire Company. A friend of mine from high school actually bought that building, and they're going through and redoing it, making it back into kind of a historic type of thing.
Now you can definitely see the courthouse.
Yep, there you can see the courthouse right in front of us. I'll take you over and show you the Boots Motel. We'll go the rest of the way out to the edge of town on Route 66, and then we'll come back over and show a little bit of the courthouse at the end of this video. I'm going to pause it here while we're sitting at the stoplight. Oh, it's for sale.
Advertised they got air conditioning.
So it's funny, we pulled up and parked next to this, and I paused the video to get out of the car. Mindy looks over and sees this mannequin in the car and freaked out a little bit because it was staring at her. But this is the old Boots Motor Court Motel. You can see you could pull your car in there and stay there. And again, it is right on Route 66. And it's pretty cool at night. All the neon is lit up in blue, at least it used to be. Route 66 memorabilia inside. And same thing on the other side. Sign here, welcome to Carthage, Missouri, home of 14,648 friendly folks. I think the population is 14,649, so there's maybe one unfriendly person in town. All right, we are back on the road. Going out. We'll head out of town here on original Route 66. We'll go out to Kellogg Lake and stop there. That's really the edge of Carthage. Another one of my suggestions was Red Oak 2. And it's a pretty cool little town. We went and took actually our engagement pictures there.
A lot of people in the area
take pictures there.
It's just photo ops.
You see that sign on the right there. I was going kind of fast, but you may have seen that sign on the right there. Was made by Lowell Davis. He was the local artist that actually took. Was it Lowell Davis? Yeah, Lowell Davis is Red Oak 2. Sorry, there's several local artists here that have done a lot of stuff. But I believe it was Lowell Davis that did Red Oak 2. It's basically a replica of the small town that he grew up in. Some of the buildings are replicas. Some of the buildings are actually original buildings that he bought and transported here.
And people actually live in those
Yep, there
houses.
are some people that rent those houses and live there. This obviously is not an original bridge. It's been recently redone. The original bridge was here for years and years, and I think it was probably 4 or 5 years ago they redid that bridge right there. It was just, the original was just falling apart. Right here there's a sign 54 to 75. Route 66 went that way, went straight here, and earlier than that Route 66 went this direction right here, which I'll turn here. Now it's actually not this section of road here because the original bridge is gone, but this in front of us here, the stop, this T, is the original Route 66 from years and years ago. It runs through this park here, and if you were to take a right, you'd go down to a dead end where the original bridge was. But then taking a left here obviously goes the other direction from the bridge down along this river right here. Here, I don't know if you'll ever be able to see it in the video because of how far to the left it is. Yeah, you can kind of see the bank of the lake right there is Kellogg Lake, and holds kind of a special place to us because that is where our youngest son Christopher caught his first fish.
Tiny little carp, probably.
So this goes out of town here. I'm going to actually turn left and go back over to this little gas station over here. Pardon the sun there. You can see off to the right this airplane sculpture here that was made by the same guy that did Red Oak 2. And interesting little tidbit of recent information, this hotel that you're seeing in front of us right now actually was raided by the FBI after the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995, because the Oklahoma City bomber and his accomplice stopped at that hotel on their way to Oklahoma City. Not something the town really wants to be famous for, but that was a big deal when I was around back then. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and we will start it back up for a couple of minutes when we get to the town square and show you the courthouse and that area. Alright, so now we are coming up on the square here in Carthage, and I actually took the wrong side here. I'm going to turn and actually not go to the square just yet. Go down the side road here. Pardon the detour. And show you, oh, I'm not going to be able to show you, dang it. I did turn in the wrong place. The Civil War Museum is right here next to us. Oh, yeah, it's right to our right here. Pretty interesting place to go visit, but now we're going to drive around the square and show you some of the historic Carthage Square. You see the courthouse there in front of us, all made from Carthage limestone, which is quarried just north of town here. Pardon the sun again. A lot of these buildings are actually made from local limestone.
Cute little boutiques and the antique shops and fancy coffee cafe.
Yep. The high school where I went to high school is right down that road that you just saw right there. There's City Hall. Side. And now we're back to where we started here. We're going around the square again, trying to determine which side is the best to get a good picture of the courthouse or a good view of the courthouse.
Pulling this Suburban right there.
Yeah, but this side is not, these sides,
No.
the east and west sides are not the good ones for the full building. It's the north and south sides. It's all pulled in.
It's a door to door.
Well, yeah, but it's got the little, what are they called? I want to call them turrets, but they're not turrets.
Parapet? Is that a parapet? I don't know what the difference between a balcony and a parapet is.